All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that drives so many of us crazy. That's stubborn belly fat. You know, the kind that just refuses to leave, no matter what you throw at it.
So, let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You're hitting the gym, you are putting in the work, sweating up a storm. But then, you look in the mirror, and that little pooch is still there, just staring back at you. Man, it is so demotivating, right? And look, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. This is one of the biggest complaints that health pros hear all the time. It feels like a total puzzle, doesn't it? If I'm burning all these calories, why isn't my belly getting any smaller? Well, guess what? Today, we are going to crack that code. So here's what we've got on tap for today's Explainer. We'll kick things off with the stubborn belly problem. Then we'll get into the 2 types of body fat. This is crucial. After that, we'll uncover some unseen causes, explore the Ayurvedic approach, and wrap it all up with a modern action plan you can actually use. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's jump right into the heart of it. This is probably going to be the biggest aha moment for you today. Here it is. Not all body fat is the same. I mean, not even close. There are 2 totally different types of fat, and they act in completely different ways.
So, first up, you've got subcutaneous fat. This is the stuff that's right under your skin. It's the fat you can literally reach out and pinch, like on your love handles. But then there's visceral fat. And this stuff is the real troublemaker. It's way deeper, tucked inside your belly, wrapped all around your important organs like your liver and your intestines. You can't pinch this stuff. It's what makes a belly feel kind of hard and tight.
And that difference is absolutely crucial. Because look, that pinchable subcutaneous fat, that's mostly about how you look. But visceral fat, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a serious health concern. It's directly tied to major issues. We're talking metabolic problems, liver function, trouble with blood sugar. This is the fat we really have to pay attention to.
So how can you tell which kind of fat you're dealing with? Well, here's a pretty simple checklist. If your belly is soft and you can pinch an inch or more, that's mostly that top layer subcutaneous fat. But if your belly feels hard, tight, almost bloated, or if you notice your waist is bigger than your hips, that's a big clue you're dealing with deep visceral fat. And get this last one. If you're sweating like crazy during workouts, but your belly size just isn't changing, that's a classic sign you're only burning off the superficial fat, while the deeper stuff isn't being touched.
All right, so let's dig a little deeper. We know about this sneaky visceral fat now. But the big question is, where does it even come from? And why is it so ridiculously hard to get rid of? It's time to go beyond the basics and find out what's really going on under the surface.
For years, we've been hammered with this idea of calories in, calories out. Just eat less and move more, right? Well, when we're talking about visceral fat, that's just way too simple. It doesn't tell the whole story. Turns out there are some pretty powerful hidden factors that are basically signaling your body to pack on that deep belly fat.
And here are the main culprits. You've got high stress, which floods you with the hormone cortisol. And cortisol just loves to store fat in your belly. Then there's poor sleep, which messes with your hormones and makes you crave all the wrong things. Eating heavy dinners late at night is another big one. Add in sugar issues or insulin resistance, not doing enough strength training to build muscle, and even a buildup of toxins in the body, what Ayurveda calls ama. Every single one of these points the arrow directly at that stubborn, deep belly fat.
So, to really tackle this at its root, we can actually turn to some ancient wisdom. Let's take a look at the Ayurvedic approach. It gives us this amazing, holistic way to understand and treat the real problem.
See, in Ayurveda, things are never just on the surface. That stubborn belly fat isn't just fat. It's seen as a sign of an imbalance, specifically in something called the Kapha dosha, which is all about structure and fluid in the body. So when your Kapha's out of whack, it messes with your Meda, that's your fat tissue, and causes it to store itself improperly, especially right around your...
And based on that idea, Ayurveda lays out this really cool step-by-step treatment plan. It actually starts from the outside and works its way in. So you've got things like Udvartana, a dry powder massage, and Abhyanga, which is an herbal oil massage. Both of those get the circulation going and start to mobilize the fat. From there, you might get more localized treatments right on the belly. But then to get to the root cause, it moves inside, using special herbs to clear out toxins, and sometimes even a supervised gut cleanse called Virachana to totally reset your system. It's a complete 360-degree approach.
Okay, let's take all of that and boil it down into a practical, modern action plan. This is what you can actually start doing today. We're going to blend the best of modern science with this ancient wisdom to create a really powerful strategy.
And here's the bottom line. Endless cardio just isn't going to cut it. Your modern toolkit has to be smarter. We're talking strength training 2 or 3 times a week. You need that muscle to burn more fat. You need HIIT, those short, intense workouts that are proven to torch visceral fat. And yes, core exercises like planks and leg raises are great. A physio might even use myofascial release on your abdomen. And when it comes to food, a high-protein diet and kicking sugar and processed foods to the curb, well, that's just non-negotiable.
Yoga is another absolute game changer here. Poses like Naukasana, or boat pose, and Bhujangasana, cobra pose, they build that deep, functional core strength. But what's super interesting are the breathing techniques. You've got Kapalbhati, which is this rapid, forceful exhale, and Uddiyana Bandha, a deep belly lock. These aren't just for relaxing, they're designed to literally massage your internal organs, fire up your digestion, and go right after that deep visceral fat.
And finally, let's talk about the small daily habits, because these really add up. Waking up early helps sync your body's internal clock. Starting your day with some warm water with jeera, that's cumin, or lemon, gets your digestion going. Here's a big one. Make dinner your lightest meal and eat it early, ideally before 7 p.m. A quick walk after you eat helps a ton. And taking a bit of Triphala powder, an amazing Ayurvedic blend, before bed can really help regulate your system while you sleep.
So this really brings everything full circle to the main point of this whole explainer. If you're only focused on targeting the fat you can pinch, that soft stuff on the outside, you're completely missing the real issue. That hard, deep, visceral fat, it needs a totally different game plan. One that deals with stress, sleep, your diet, and the right kind of exercise.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. I want you to take a hard look at your current routine, what you eat, how you move, how you live. And with everything we've just talked about, ask yourself, is what I'm doing really targeting the right kind of fat? Because answering that question honestly, that might just be the key that unlocks the results you've been working so hard for.